Hello everyone, my name is Osama Saeed. Welcome to my channel. It's called Smarina channel. It's all about development generally and the web development specifically. In this video, we will talk about SQL or structured query language, which is language to query or apply CRUD operation on a relational database. CRUD is stand for create, update, retrieve, delete data from the database. So what is database? A database is a collection of organized data stored in a computer system and managed by DBMS, Database Management System. We have two common types of databases, relational database, or can call it SQL database. The second type called non-relational database or NoSQL database. Okay. As relational database consists of tables and columns, and there is a relation between those tables. But in NoSQL database, it consists of documents and there is no relationship on this type of databases. When we talk about relational database, we have a very important definition. It's ACID compliance. Okay, what's ACID? It stands for 4 words: automaticity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Automaticity means ensures that the transaction is treated as a single unit, either executed, or if any command fails, the whole process will not execute it. Consistency ensure the data inserted to the table is correct values whenever corrected the table or data. Isolation when multiple users are reading and writing from same table. Make sure their transaction don't interfere or affect one another. Durability ensures that changes you made in your successful transaction will be saved even if system failure. So let's talk about some SQL basic commands. We have more than 3, but we will talk about 3 definition of it: DDLL, DML, DQL. DDL stand for data definition language. It has 4 commands: create, drop, alter, truncate. Create table, drop or database, drop table or drop database, alter table, truncate for empty table. Okay. DML or data manipulation language to insert, update data from database. DQL or data query language to select data from database. Okay. The difference between delete and truncate: truncate will delete all data from the table and reindex the primary key. The delete will delete one or more records from database, will never reindex the primary key, which is mean if I truncate all data and start to insert a new record, it will start from 1. Let's have a look about what we will build in this tutorial. It's a simple SQL database. It's not a full database. It's just 3 entities to understand what is table and what is column, how to query it, how to build it, how to insert it, the definition or the relationship between the tables. Okay, what we see here is called ERD or entity relationship diagram. Okay, 3 entities is student, class, teacher. Students consist of 5 attributes: its ID, which is integer, name, string or varchar, class ID, which is integer, address, text, date of birth is date. Okay, class ID is integer, class name is string. Teacher ID, integer, name, string, date of birth is date, address, string, subject is string. The relation between class and student: 1 to many. The class contain 1 or more students, and the student belong to 1 class only. The relation between class and teacher: it's many to many. The class has 1 or more teacher, and teacher has 1 or more classes. Okay, we will create a table for many to many relationship. It consists of class ID and teacher ID. The class ID from class table and teacher ID from teacher table. So in this tutorial we will use MySQL database, and we will use database client called MySQL Workbench. Let's start, do some code. Okay, now let's start to create our database. We will start with first command, which is create database, called simple school. Let's execute this command. When refresh our database schemas, we will find school. Okay, Then we have to use this database to create tables on it. We have two ways to select our database. If you have GUI or graphical user interface, you can simply double click on it. It will be highlighted, okay? Otherwise, write use school. Then let's do it. Then execute this query. It will be highlighted and expand also. Now let's start to create our tables. We will start with classes table. We will use create table command. We will open bracket and close it. The first field is ID, which is integer. Auto increment field, okay. Then the name of the class, it will be var char 255 character, not null. And we will set ID as primary key. Okay, all good. We will execute this command, which is good. We have to refresh our schemas. We have one table called classes. Okay. Then we will create our student table. We will comment last. We will comment previous command, previous create command, and then we will start a new create command, new create command. Create table student. Then we have also ID and auto increment. Auto increment means auto increment means that I don't need to insert this data when I inserting data to the records. I will ignore ID and it will be automatically generated and auto incremented. For example, let's start with first row or first data row with 1, and then the second one will 2, 3, and so on. I don't have to take care about it. Name var char also not null. Not null means I have to insert this data while I am inserting data for a row in students table. The table will prevent me from inserting data without these fields. If I put it as null, it's accepted to ignore this data. Date of birth. It's date. Class ID. And not null also. And then I will set ID as primary key as usual. I will add a foreign key, which is mean this key class ID will refer another field in classes table, which is ID. I mean, I will put student in class with ID number 1. I will add in class ID number 1, which will refer the class with ID number 1 in classes. Okay. We will use it in relationship, as we will see later in this video. So its name is class ID. References, classes, which is the table name, and then open and close bracket, we will put the field, which is class ID will refer to it. All good. By the way, we can put the foreign key later with alter commands. We will test it in next command. Let's execute this command. Okay. Refresh the schemas. We have now students, and in foreign key we have student, and also in classes we don't have any foreign keys. So, and the columns is ID, name, class of date of birth, and the class ID. Okay. Now let's comment this section also. Let's start at teachers table. Create table teachers. Okay. Which is will contain also ID, integer, auto increment, name, which is varchar 255, not null, address, it will be text because we don't know how is character length is, and we will set primary key. We will set ID as primary key. ID. Okay. Let's execute this query also. All good. Teachers has no foreign key. Which is mean the teacher's data will has no fields refers to the. We will comment this command also. We will comment this command also. Let's create last table. It's a relationship between classes and teachers. We will use command create table classes teachers. Class ID not integer, not null, then teacher ID also integer, not null. Then I will ignore the foreign keys for now. I will add it later in this section. Okay, let's execute this command. All good. Okay, let's refresh our schemas. There is class teachers. Okay, columns, the class ID and teacher ID, but we don't have any foreign keys. Let's add this foreign keys now. We will use a statement. It's called alter. Alter. It's used to modify the table after creation process. Table with name, classes, teachers. Add foreign key called class ID references classes field ID. Let's test this query first. No, I have a typo here. Classes, not classes. All good. Let's expand our schema one more time. I have one foreign key. Let's do it for teacher ID. Now we have two foreign key. Foreign key. If we need to generate ERD for what we have, we will click database and reverse engineer. Okay. Select the connection and hit next. Okay, then next. I will choose my database, school database. Okay, next, and execute. Okay, and next, close. This is our database. Okay, classes, teachers, and the class teacher. Let's make some breeze here. Space. And as we see, we have a teachers, classes, many-to-many relationship, and classes, student, many-to-one relationship. So let's insert data to this table and continue other operations. Okay, let's start to insert some data in classes table. Insert into classes. I will open and close brackets. I will add the fields I want to insert data into. Name. I have no other fields. I have two fields. Okay. ID and the name. The ID is auto incremented, so I will ignore it. Then values. As a string class A. Let's insert it. All good. Class A with ID 1. Second class, class B. Then I will refresh this data. Class B. I can insert multiple ones. I will put comma. I will change B to C and add class D. Let's execute this command. All good. Refresh the data. Okay. I have some caching issue. So class A, class B, class C, class D. By the way, I can insert data to table without specifying the table field's name. For example, I can type insert into classes values and then class E class F. Okay, but we have a problem in this case. I have to insert data in this sequence, ID and name, even if data is not required. If I were trying to insert these values now, I will get an error. Okay, column count doesn't match value, count at row 1. I have to put null. For auto increment column, like ID. Okay, then, okay, all good. Fresh. A, B, C. All good. Succeed one more time. Good. Okay, it's caching. So all good until now. Let's try other comments. Select. Let's select all fields from our table. Select asterisk from classes. Okay, we can select column only, or I can specify which column I need to get in my results. Okay, I get a name. I can get ID only. Okay. As I will add an alias for column name, class name, watch here, field name, this class name now. Let's use update data command. Okay. I will update classes, set name equal class 1. If I run this command now, all fields will be class 1. I have to specify the condition, which is a row will be affected by this command. Okay, where ID equal 1. So let's comment this and select all data from classes. Check data first. Okay. Now I will change the class A to class 1. Run or execute this command. Good. Show the data now. It's class 1 now. All good. If I forgot to add where statement, I will update all rows. Let's check it. Command. Okay. In save mode, I can't change all data. I have to add limit. Okay. Let's try to add where ID in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then execute. Good. I have one column, one row will not affected with this command. Okay. I have 2 rows not affected with this command, which is good. Let's change it. Let's delete from this table also. Delete from classes where ID equal 8, which is class H. Execute. Good. Refresh this data. Classes ID 8 is done now. Okay, this is 4 operations done on data. So let's continue with other tables. I have 7 classes. Let's start to add one more record to classes table. Well, good. Let's refresh data. It's with ID 9. When I delete row with delete statement, will never resort to the auto increment keys. I have to drop table and create it to fix this issue. Okay. But when I use truncate statement and then execute, I get an error. Can't truncate a table reference in a foreign key, constraint key, student, constraint student, and so on. I can ignore this for now. So I will set global variable, it's foreign key checks equals 0. And then I will reset it back to 1. Let's execute this command. Let's clear this console and pre-execute the command. All good. When I hit classes one more time, I have ID and name. Let's insert some data. Class A, insert, then refresh class A with ID 1. Let's insert 5 classes. A, B, C, D, E. Good. Well, good. Let's work on another table, which is student table. Okay, let's insert some data in student with columns ID, name, date of birth, and the class ID. Insert into student ID null. I forget values. ID null, name Sama, date of birth 2000. It's a fake birth date. 10. Class ID. This class ID have to one of these classes. If I insert 6, for example, I get error. The database will check if this classes exist. This is a benefit of using a foreign key. Okay. If I don't use a foreign key, he allow me to insert any value in this field. But with foreign keys, he will check if this ID is exist in this table or not. For example, I put it 7, which is will bring an error to me. Okay. Well, can't add or update child row a foreign key constraint fields. Let's do it 1 and then insert this data. All good. Let's choose the data. Okay. Let's insert 5 or 10 students. All good. Let's refresh our database. Our student table. Okay. Let's query this data and sort it with multiple columns. Okay, select from student. Good. Let's sort it with ID. Order by ID descending in descending order, which is means 13 will be at the top. Okay. ASC or ascending order. It's the reverse. Okay, I can sort it with name ascending. Okay, Elisa, Angel, Bill, Catherine, Henry, John, Max, Mike, Osama, Rova. Let's reverse the ordering. Date of birth. Oh. Okay, it's descending, which is means the youngest person will be at the top. So ascending, which is means the older will be the top. Okay, so John, the first one in this list. We can make it with class ID, but this will be with no meaning. But let's test it. Very good. Let's reverse it. Good. Let's continue with teachers table. We will insert 5 teachers, 1 for each class. Let's execute this statement. Let's check the result. Good. Now all table has data. Let's check from student. Okay. The next part we will make some modification and some operation in this data between this table and using a relationship and foreign key. Let's continue in the next section. Okay, let's specify the fields I want to retrieve in this query. I need to retrieve ID, name, class, ID. Good. For now, I need to replace class ID with class name, which exists in another table. I can do this with 2 ways: subqueries and joins. I will start with subqueries. Subqueries means I will include a query in another query from same table or another. In our case, class ID exists in another table, which is classes. So I will create subqueries to get class name from classes. To make this operation simple, I will add alias for this table. Students as S. S means I can refer students table by S and query. I can type s.id, s.name, s.class name, class ID. I can execute this one more time. Same results. Okay. For class ID, I will replace it with select statement. Select name from classes where classes dot id equal s dot class id. Okay, I will select the name only. If I select the all fields, I will get error. Okay, operand should contain one column only. Okay, name, and then execute it one more time. Okay, this is the result. I got the student class name from the another table. I can change the header by using alias class name. Let's execute it. Okay, well, good. I can remove s dot and s dot id and this. I using it just for keep it simple. Okay, I can use class id and id classes id and hit run again. All good. Okay. Now we will use another method which is join. Okay. Select id name class name from students join means I will join student another table which is classes on the condition students students to class id equal classes dot id. Okay, I will get error here. Let's test it. I can fix this problem by adding table names because I have two fields with the same name. The MySQL engine will not understand which table this field refers to. Okay. And then the ID exists in two tables, so I have to specify the table name. I will select the student's ID. Execute. All good. Okay, we can change the name to table name as class name, and this to student name. Execute it. All okay. For now, I need to get all classes with teacher's name. Okay, I will make multiple joins. So select asterisk from classes. Let's make it simple, step by step. It's maybe it's maybe complicated for beginners. So maybe step by step, I get the class name. I get the result from the classes. I will specify the columns, the name from classes. Okay, all good. Then I need to get the relation between classes and teacher. So I will make it step by step. I will join. I will add alias first as C. So join. The relation table is classes teachers. On the condition. If I execute this as it, okay, nothing new. The condition on as ct, okay, on c dot id, which is mean class id, CT for relation teachers. Let's check this data. Class ID. ID. Let's execute it. Okay, I can get the class ID. Okay. And teacher ID. Okay, that's clear now. I have this class name, class A. Have 4 teachers, 1, 2, 4, 5. And the class B has 1 and 3. And the class C has 2. And the class D has 3. And the class E has 4 and 5. Okay. I will now join the teachers table. Join teacher as T on T dot ID equal which equal CT dot teacher ID dot teacher ID. I go to the classes table. I get all names. Then I go to the teacher. I get the relation. What's the class related to each teacher? Then I go to the teacher. Get the relation between the teacher and the class teacher. Okay. I will bring all teachers related to each class. Okay. There is 2 fields called name. I have one in classes and one in teachers, right? Let's check the data. Classes as name. So the engine don't know which field you're talking about. You have to prefix it with table name or alias name. We can put it classes.name. You will change it with cname. Okay, it will work. Okay, all good. But you can't use the table name anymore. Okay, if you put an alias, you have to use alias in all fields. You can't use the classes. Make an error. I will throw error. Okay. Unknown column, classes.name. You have to use c.name. It will work. All good. All I have to do now to bring teacher name. Teacher dot name. Good. So class A as teacher A, teacher B, teacher E. So I think this is the end of our tutorial. So stay tuned for another video. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and like the video to encourage me to make new videos. Thank you.